Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. Today, we've got something special lined up. We're going to Saturn,
Saturn, yeah.
and you've given me a lot to look at.
Yeah.
Today, we've got research papers, we've got ancient texts, we've even got some mythology and conspiracy theories sprinkled in.
Right.
So I'm really excited to kind of dig into all of this,
Yes.
see what we can uncover about this ringed planet.
Mm-hmm.
But before we go too far down that rabbit hole, I guess we should start with the basics.
Okay.
What do we know about Saturn from a purely scientific point of view?
Well, I think just starting off with the physical characteristics of Saturn, it's the second largest planet in our solar system. It's a gas giant. Of course, it's known for its magnificent rings, which I'm sure we'll talk about a lot today.
Those rings are definitely iconic.
Mhm.
But I was looking at your research and I saw something that really jumped out at me. Saturn's diameter and its distance from the sun are both 9.5 times that of Earth's.
Yeah, that's right.
That's got to be more than just a coincidence.
Yeah. That's quite a remarkable sort of symmetry there.
Yeah. And on top of that, it's 95 times heavier than Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just mind-boggling. How does that immense size affect the planet?
It really plays a huge role in shaping some of Saturn's unique characteristics. For example, there's a massive hexagonal storm raging on its north pole.
Hold on. A hexagonal storm.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anything like that.
Yeah.
What could possibly cause a storm to form in that shape?
It really is a testament to the powerful forces that are at play in Saturn's atmosphere. This storm is so large that it could easily swallow Earth whole.
Wow. So it makes those hurricanes we see on Earth look like little dust devils.
Exactly. And speaking of powerful forces, we can't forget about the incredible swirling vortex at its south pole.
Right. With an eye, just like hurricanes on Earth.
Exactly.
Isn't that the only one we've ever observed outside of our own planet?
That's correct, yeah.
Wow. It's almost as if Saturn is staring back at us with that swirling eye.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what else is going on beneath those swirling clouds? What other mysteries are we trying to unravel?
Well, to get a closer look, we need to talk about the Cassini-Huygens mission.
Yes, Cassini.
You've included several articles on this, and it really was a remarkable feat of space exploration. For 13 years, this spacecraft orbited Saturn, sending back a treasure trove of data and images. It really transformed our understanding of this planet and its system.
13 years. I mean, that's longer than some cars stay on the road.
Whoa.
I remember when those first images from Cassini came back. The rings in all their glory, the intricate details of the storms, it was just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that final moment when Cassini plunged into Saturn's atmosphere.
Right. A deliberate crash landing to prevent contamination.
It almost felt like saying goodbye to an old friend.
Yeah. But before it went, it sent back one last haunting image of Saturn, a final farewell from a robotic emissary. And it's a reminder of how far we've come in space exploration and how much more there is to discover.
Absolutely. And, of course, we can't forget about the Huygens probe,
Right.
which landed on Saturn's largest moon, Titan, back in 2005.
That's right.
We actually did a deep dive on Titan a while back, so if you're interested in learning more about that moon with its lakes of liquid methane, definitely check out that episode. But today we're focusing on some of Saturn's other intriguing moons. You've highlighted Rhea and Enceladus specifically.
Mm-hmm.
What makes these moons stand out?
Well, with Rhea, Cassini made an incredible discovery. It actually has an atmosphere
Really?
composed mainly of oxygen and carbon dioxide, just like Earth. This was the first time we'd found a moon with an oxygen-rich atmosphere, making it a prime candidate for further study.
Oxygen on another moon. It's remarkable to think that a seemingly barren world might have something so fundamental in common with our own planet. What are the implications of that discovery?
It's really a question that scientists are actively trying to answer. It's one of the many things that make Saturn's system so fascinating. Now, shifting gears to Enceladus, this moon presents some even more tantalizing possibilities. It has a global ocean of liquid water.
An ocean? Where?
Hidden beneath its icy surface, and it's heated by hydrothermal vents, similar to those found on Earth's ocean floor.
An ocean under the ice? That sounds like a science fiction movie waiting to happen.
Yeah. But it gets even better, right? Because didn't Cassini also detect something pretty remarkable spewing from those geysers on Enceladus?
That's right. Cassini detected organic molecules in those plumes.
Okay, so hold on. We're talking about an ocean heated by hydrothermal vents, much like the ones on Earth where life may have first emerged, and we're finding organic molecules.
Exactly.
Are you saying that Enceladus has all the necessary ingredients for life as we know it?
It certainly raises a lot of exciting possibilities. It suggests that Enceladus could be a prime candidate in the search for extraterrestrial life. Okay, so we've got two moons, one with an oxygen-rich atmosphere, the other potentially harboring life in its hidden ocean. It's mind-boggling to think that these incredible worlds are right there in our own cosmic backyard. But you've also given me some research on Saturn's connection to ancient civilizations. Some of it's pretty speculative. You seem particularly interested in this theory that Saturn, not the sun, was the focus of worship for some cultures.
Right.
So let's dive into that rabbit hole, shall we? What's the evidence for this?
Well, one intriguing piece of evidence comes from ancient Greek texts. They actually refer to Saturn as Helios,
Helios.
which is the same name given to the Greek sun god. So that right there is kind of an interesting overlap. Could this be a hint of a forgotten past when Saturn held a more prominent place in the sky and in human beliefs?
That is fascinating. It suggests maybe some confusion about how these celestial bodies were perceived back then.
Yeah.
But it's just one piece of the puzzle, right? What other clues are there?
Well, if we look at ancient Egyptian mythology, we find a link between Saturn and the god Horus, whose symbol is an eye. And again, that's strikingly similar to that swirling vortex with an eye at Saturn's south pole. And if we go even further back in time, to the Sumerian civilization, one of the oldest on Earth, they depicted a sun with a hexagon surrounding it. Could this hexagon represent Saturn's hexagonal storm?
It's like you're piecing together a cosmic conspiracy theory right in front of me. Greeks, Egyptians, Sumerians, they all seem to have some connection to Saturn. But here's the million-dollar question. If Saturn was once so important to these ancient cultures, why did we shift our focus to the sun? What happened?
That's a question that has fueled countless debates and theories. Some propose that Saturn might have experienced a cataclysmic event that dimmed its brightness. Others suggest that our understanding of these celestial objects simply evolved over time.
So are we looking at a cosmic mystery or simply a shift in human perspective? It's a question that I'm eager to explore further. But before we get too deep into ancient mysteries, I think it's time we took a closer look at those iconic rings of Saturn.
Okay.
They're really what set this planet apart, wouldn't you say? Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they're just breathtaking.
They are, yeah. They're one of the most stunning sights in our solar system, like a giant celestial necklace made up of countless icy particles.
Yeah.
And they range in size, from tiny grains to chunks as big as houses.
It's amazing to think about the sheer scale of those rings. I mean, hundreds of thousands of kilometers across. But they're incredibly thin, right?
Yeah.
Like only about 10 meters thick, thinner than a pancake. And how did those rings even form? Were they always there? Like some sort of cosmic birthmark?
That's a question that's puzzled astronomers for centuries.
Yeah.
One theory is that a moon got a little too close to Saturn and was torn apart by the planet's gravity.
Oh, wow.
So imagine like this cosmic demolition derby with icy remnants forming this magnificent ring system.
Talk about a dramatic origin story. But I've also read some of your other sources that suggest that the rings might be much younger than we thought.
Right.
Perhaps only a few 100 million years old, which is relatively recent on a cosmic timescale.
But if that's true, wouldn't they be spreading out or changing over time? I mean, how do we explain their remarkable symmetry and stability?
Well, that's where Saturn's moons come into play. Some of these moons, known as shepherd moons, act like cosmic choreographers. They're guiding the ring particles and keeping them confined to specific orbits.
Shepherd moons.
They exert gravitational forces that prevent the rings from spreading out or clumping together, creating that stunning, well-defined structure we see today.
So it's a delicate balance between Saturn's massive gravity and the gentle nudges of its shepherd moons.
Right.
It's like a cosmic ballet, with each particle playing its part in this grand performance. But let's shift our focus back to something that really caught my eye in your research. The possibility that Saturn went through a phase of increased brightness, perhaps even becoming a proto-sun at some point in its history. You've even included an academic research paper suggesting that this might be possible for gas giants.
Yeah.
So if this did happen, wouldn't we see some evidence of this ancient brilliance, like in the geological record or maybe even in the myths and legends of different cultures?
It's a compelling theory and one that researchers are actively exploring. And there are some intriguing hints scattered throughout ancient texts and artifacts that suggest our ancestors might have witnessed something truly extraordinary in the heavens.
Like what kind of hints? Give me some examples.
Well, for instance, many cultures have myths and legends about a golden age, a time of peace, abundance, and celestial harmony. Could this golden age be a metaphorical representation of a time when Saturn shone brightly in the sky, casting its golden light upon Earth.
It's a fascinating thought. A time when Saturn might have been a second sun, bathing our world in a different light. But are there any other clues? Perhaps in how ancient cultures marked time or celebrated their festivals?
Well, there are some interesting connections. For example, the ancient Roman festival of Saturnalia, a week-long celebration of feasting and revelry, held in December during the winter solstice. This timing coincides with when Saturn is closest to Earth and appears brightest in the night sky.
So could Saturnalia be a vestige of a time when Saturn held a more prominent place in the sky and in human beliefs?
Possibly.
A time when we celebrated its presence with feasts and merriment. I love how these seemingly disparate pieces of information start to connect when you look at them through this lens. But even if Saturn never actually reached proto-sun status, it's clear that ancient cultures were captivated by this planet. It makes me wonder, what did they see in Saturn that we might be missing today?
Perhaps they saw a symbol of time and patience, given Saturn's slow and steady orbit around the sun, or maybe they saw it a guardian of the threshold between the material world and the spiritual realm, as evidenced by its association with the god Horus in Egyptian mythology.
It's fascinating to consider how differently they might have viewed the cosmos compared to our modern understanding. It's a reminder that our perspective is always evolving. But for now, let's bring our focus back to the present and those intriguing moons of Saturn. We talked about Titan and Rhea, but you've also included some fascinating research on Enceladus. You mentioned it might have all the ingredients for life. What kind of life are we talking about here? Should we be picturing little green men or something more along the lines of microscopic organisms?
While the idea of complex life on Enceladus is intriguing, scientists believe that microbial life is more likely. These would be single-celled organisms similar to the bacteria or archaea found in extreme environments on Earth.
Okay.
Thriving in that warm, hidden ocean beneath the icy surface.
So no close encounters of the third kind just yet.
Not yet.
But even the discovery of microbial life on Enceladus would be groundbreaking, wouldn't it? It would mean that life isn't unique to Earth and that it can exist in environments vastly different from our own.
It would absolutely change our entire understanding of the universe and our place within it.
I'm curious, are there any missions planned to explore Enceladus further and search for signs of this microbial life?
Both NASA and other space agencies are actively developing missions to Enceladus. Some involve spacecraft that would fly through those plumes of water vapor erupting from the moon, analyzing their composition for signs of life. Others envision landers that would drill through the ice and sample the ocean directly.
It's exciting to think that we might be on the verge of discovering life beyond Earth, and not on some distant planet, but right here in our own solar system. But while we wait for those missions to launch, I'd like to circle back to the cultural significance of Saturn. We've talked about the Greeks, the Egyptians, and the Sumerians. But did other cultures have any interesting beliefs or myths about this ringed planet?
Well, Saturn appears in the myths and legends of countless cultures around the world. For instance, the ancient Babylonians associated Saturn with the god Ninurta, a deity of agriculture, healing, and war. They saw Saturn as a powerful force, both benevolent and destructive, much like the forces of nature itself.
So Saturn wasn't always viewed as this, dark or foreboding presence. It seems like different cultures saw different aspects of this planet depending on their own beliefs and experiences.
Precisely. In many cultures, Saturn was seen as a symbol of wisdom, time, and the cycles of nature. Its slow and steady orbit around the sun made it a natural representation of the passage of time and the ebb and flow of life.
It makes sense. It's like Saturn embodies both the beauty and the harsh realities of existence, the cycles of birth, death, and rebirth that govern the natural world. It's a theme that seems to resonate across cultures and throughout history. But now let's delve into a topic that often surrounds Saturn, its alleged connection to the occult. You provided some interesting sources on this, ranging from scholarly articles to, more fringe theories. So what's the story here? What is it about Saturn that has captured the imagination of occult groups and secret societies?
It's a fascinating and often misunderstood topic.
Yeah.
In many occult traditions, Saturn is associated with concepts like limitation, restriction, and the material world. It's seen as a force that tests us, challenges our beliefs, and pushes us to confront our shadow selves. It's not necessarily a malevolent force, but one that encourages introspection and self-discovery.
So Saturn's like a cosmic coach, pushing us to our limits to help us grow and evolve.
In a way, yes. And the six-pointed star, which is often associated with Saturn, is seen as a symbol of balance and harmony, representing the union of opposites, the spiritual and the material, the masculine and the feminine. It's about finding equilibrium amidst the chaos of existence.
And what about the Eye of Horus, that other symbol that's often linked to Saturn? What's its significance in this context?
The Eye of Horus is often interpreted as a symbol of divine providence and protection, but it's also associated with Saturn's role as a guardian of the threshold between the material world and the spiritual realm. It's like Saturn is the gatekeeper, guarding the secrets of the universe and guiding those who are ready to cross over into a deeper understanding of reality.
It's like Saturn is this enigmatic figure, shrouded in mystery and symbolism, inviting us to explore those deeper layers of existence. But as we've seen throughout our deep dive, there's so much more to Saturn than just ancient myths and occult interpretations. It's a planet full of scientific wonder, from its majestic rings to its potentially life-harboring moons.
Exactly. And as we continue to explore this fascinating world, we're sure to uncover even more secrets and mysteries, pushing the boundaries of our knowledge and challenging our understanding of the universe.
Well, it seems like we've covered a lot of ground in this exploration of Saturn. We've journeyed from its icy rings to its potentially life-harboring moons, delved into ancient myths and modern-day conspiracy theories, and explored the enduring symbolism of this enigmatic planet. But before we wrap up, I want to touch on one last question that has been lingering in my mind. We've talked about the possibility of Saturn having been much brighter in the past, perhaps even a proto-sun. But one thing that keeps nagging at me is, if other gas giants could go through a similar phase, could there be other proto-suns out there in the vast universe, with their own systems of moons, perhaps even harboring life?
It's a fascinating question,
Yeah.
and it has astronomers buzzing with excitement. The discovery of planets orbiting other stars has really shown us just how diverse planetary systems can be. And with these new powerful telescopes coming online, we're getting better and better at detecting these distant worlds. So it's entirely possible that we might find gas giants going through a proto-sun phase,
Wow.
radiating heat and light onto their moons, creating conditions that could potentially support life as we know it, or even life as we don't yet know it.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Entire solar systems powered by gas giants, perhaps teeming with life on their moons. Makes you realize just how vast and full of possibilities the universe truly is. We've only just begun to scratch the surface. But for now, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into Saturn.
Yeah.
We've explored its icy rings, its potentially life-harboring moons, delved into ancient myths and modern-day interpretations. Uncovered the enduring symbolism of this enigmatic planet.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has. And it highlights just how much we can learn by combining these different perspectives, the scientific, the historical, the cultural. It's a reminder that knowledge is multifaceted, and that true understanding comes from embracing the complexity and the mystery of the universe.
Well said.
So until next time, keep looking up, keep asking questions, and never stop exploring this vast and awe-inspiring cosmos. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive. It's been a pleasure sharing this exploration of Saturn with you.